Okay, we're doing this. Okay. Good morning. Hello, I am Desmond, and actually, I wasn't sure if I wanted to share my name, but okay. Hello, I am um, PE, private economist. I am creating this series or this YouTube channel because I would like to document my French learning. So I'll be attempting to go from A1 to C1 or C2. I'm saying C1 to be realistic in the next 6 months, so that unrealistic doesn't seem to pair together. But the reasons why I am doing this because I have found that there is no proper, clear French step by step that is free to learn French online or anywhere else. And because there is this problem, it's created like a kind of like an access barrier to learning French. Um, I started my journey. I've been learning French since 2024, but I skipped a lot. I skipped a lot of the important stuff. I so you're speaking to someone who doesn't actually know how to speak French. I can try to put some sentences together, but they will not be accurate, or they will not be clear, or they will not be clean. I also lack confidence. But the reason why is because I was learning to speak French in 2024 because I was just going straight into learning sentences and learning verbs and then just putting them together and saying them. I didn't understand any. I don't understand anything about grammar. I don't understand anything about pronunciation. So you can expect that. Sure, I can blurt out a couple words, but I can't understand or speak them. Um, so I'm going to try to go from A1 to C1 with in French learning in 6 months. So that's actually, I should have checked, but that is between now and March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, September. So by September, I want to be able to speak French and also comprehend it and listen to it. So how am I going to be learning? I am going to be using um, four means. The first one is the Perfect French with Delaney. It's on YouTube. She seems to have a course that goes from every single thing you need to know about speaking French, and I've been using it so far. It's kind of humbling because I have to start with pronunciation, which I would love to skip because I am not very patient, but I am going to try to follow that step by step. So I am watching a couple of videos. She has around 55 videos on specific things. So one is pronunciation, and the other would be grammar, all that stuff, which is good, which I think is good for me because I need to learn all the small things there. Second thing I'll be using is French in Action. So French in Action is given to me by a priest friend of mine. Um, I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but it's fun. It's like a bunch of episodes. I think there's around over probably like 30 videos, if not more. But they're long videos, like an hour long, and they tell a story. And in that story, it's very active and very interactive. So you get to pay attention, you get to listen, and you get to live in their life. So I think that I'll be watching all of those videos alongside trying to finish one like finish pronunciation in 1 week, one video in that week as well. And that's a lot. That's a lot of videos. That's a lot of hours. That's at least probably 1 hour on the French in Action, and then another hour and a half with Perfect French with Dylan. Um, so I'll be trying to finish, so an hour and a half daily for Perfect French with Dylan if I want to be where I am saying I want to go. And then I will be using a means because I was thinking for work when I'm working I could just listen to something in French, but I couldn't do Perfect French with Dylan because it required too much of my attention while working. I can't do French in Action because it also requires too much of my attention while working. So I will be doing French podcasts as my girl recommended. I'll be doing French podcasts, and there's a video I found where it just says sentences in French and translates them. So there's like there is many, there was many, there are many, stuff like that, and it just says like hundreds of sentences, translating them so that you know how to say that sentence and use it. I'll just be putting that in my ear because I am a multitasker, so that's not going to be a problem at all for me. And then once I'm done with that, I will also be using, I guess the last thing I'll be trying to do is I'll be speaking, at least I'm going to try to get 30 minutes to an hour talking to various of my friends strictly in French. Regardless of what I learn, it's only going to come out when I'm talking to people and when I'm listening to them. And that's only going to be the place where I'm actually going to be able to put in this efforts, this learning. So I'm going to try to book 30 minutes or an hour with my friends and just speak to them in French. My goal in learning this is because I want to become a full fluent French speaker for work. So I'm going to also have to look into if there's specific French things I need to learn for working. And I also want to be able to interact with people from different places, but mostly for work because I am from Canada. And in Canada, you need to speak French in some places. Yeah, so that's the first journey. I would like to also break down exactly what I've been done this week. So this week I've gone through a bunch of videos with French with Elaine on pronunciation, and then I went through the first and second video of French in action. And I've been listening to a podcast specifically, which I'm also going to put in the description just so I can always come back to it. And at the end of these videos, I'm going to try to speak French as well. So in these videos as well, I'm going to put in 2 to 1 minute of me speaking French about the things I'm learning or whatever the video is about. I'm also going to try to put out, to document this every 5 days so that I can come back and say, hey, this is what I've learned this week. This is what I've learned that week. And what I've found difficult. And at the end of this, I want to be able to put together a actual proper learning format that is free and accessible to anyone who wants to learn French. Maybe not in 6 months, because I feel like maybe 6 months is a bit too strained for someone who's busy like me and also works. But I think I have been learning French for too long. I need to just immerse myself fully into learning it. Okay, so now you're going to hear some of the French that I have been learning that I'm going to start trying to put into action and put into proper grammar, but you'll probably see how much there's no good grammar in this. Bonjour, je suis Desmond. J'apprends français maintenant. J'ai commencé les mon études maintenant, aujourd'hui. Je vais utiliser français in action, French in action avec Perfect French with Dylan dans le YouTube avec podcast en français. Mon raison apprendre français parce que c'est très dur obtenir opportunité à ne pas parler français pour travailler. Mais je veux être parler avec mes amis, mes supérieurs dans le travail. Okay, so that's all I got. That's all I got. It's actually all I have, all I can do. But I promise in 5 days, my pronunciation hopefully will be a bit better, and I can learn more words, learn more sentences, and be able to speak French. But even if anyone, maybe one person, starts watching this video because they also want to learn French, and says, oh, he probably already speaks French, because I do that all the time. He already speaks enough French. I'm starting from zero. Well, take it as if I'm starting from zero, because I actually know nothing about speaking French properly. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to learn. So, okay. Below 10 minutes, I'll link down everything I'm going to be using in the bottom here. And merci beaucoup pour joining me.